Action.
Hello!
Welcome to Innovation and creativity is one of the key area on problem solving. Again, problem solving is also another soft skill.
Yeah. Another one. She's like, how am I dressed? How do I look?
No, for real.
Adaptability. You have to move out of your comfort zone, because there are some people, they don't want just to stretch themselves even a little bit. If they
Hello! Welcome to Unilab family. As always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And we don't take it for granted. Thank you for always taking your time to just, meet and catch up with us.
Yes.
And we appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, so before we go to today's topic, as always, make yourself comfortable. Grab something that you can be drinking or eating. Why do we just say drink? You can be eating, maybe.
Yeah,
The Luya in us. Food. Yeah, so you can have a meal or whatever you prefer to do while watching this video. Feel free. Okay, so we'll go straight to the discussion for the day. But before we go to the discussion, I think the last week has been a very, it was a week that brought some things in my mind. I was just going through the social media pages, and I came across this advertisement, for 2 vacancies in one of the, I think, joints on Thika Road. And I think that post really touched me, because this place was advertising only for 2 positions for waitresses, and there was a long queue of hundreds and hundreds of people, just queuing to interview for this position. And that caught my attention, and I was like, okay, you only need 2 people. We have people who have queued and they want to be interviewed, and it doesn't matter, someone will wait even if it's until evening to be interviewed. And then it also just reminded me, even in my, my work, because I do lots of recruitment, I interview people, and the instances where, you just advertise for one job and one position, and you get thousands and thousands of applications, Yeah. So what is this one thing, that will make you stand out amongst the thousands or hundreds or tens, that are being interviewed or have been shortlisted for an interview. So that is the basis of our discussion today. So we're going to talk about one very important skill that we all need. So that's the soft skills that you need for life. And yes, it's not just about jobs. It's even outside jobs, relationship, interacting with your friends, with your peers, everywhere. This is one skill that we realize is very critical to ensure that you stand out from the rest.
True. Okay?
Yeah, so stick with us and let's get to hear from each one of us. Sure. What do we mean by soft skills? So when you talk about soft skills, what do we mean? What are soft skills? Yeah, so to help us just understand what we are talking about, I'll just read for us the exact meaning of what soft skills means. Then we can proceed. So soft skills are personal attributes that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. Yeah, so these are just personal attributes that enable someone to interact well with others.
Yeah. Wow, so thank you, Vivian, for that definition. And I think I'll start us off with one of the soft skills that I feel is very, very important in a workplace. And the first one that I want to talk about is willingness to learn. I mean, when you get into any organization, you're doing business, or whatever kind of thing you're doing, or whatever venture you're in, your willingness to learn really matters. You can't get into an organization and you're told, you know what, you need to do this and that. This is how we write our reports, and you say, that's not how I used to do. That's not how things are done. That's not what I know. So you must be willing to learn if you want to coexist well with the other employees. And that works well not only with the bosses, but even with your equals and your juniors. Okay, so you must be someone who is willing to learn, especially the culture of this new place that you're getting into.
Exactly.
To learn how things happen, and you realize over time that you're just flowing towards the right direction, and you're gaining, all the necessary experience that you need to.
Okay.
Wow.
For me, I would say adaptability. Because in this world, the way we are, things keep on changing every now and then. You cannot stick to the old ways of doing things. You have to move out of your comfort zone. Because there are some people, they don't want just to stretch themselves even a little bit. If they maybe someone used to work from 8 to 5, and then you come to this job, maybe you're supposed to report a bit earlier, and they're like, no. Everywhere people don't do this. Where I'm coming from, you can't really adopt well if you're not ready to stretch yourself, you're not ready to move out of your comfort zone. Even sometimes some people are just needed, maybe it's a good job, but maybe you just need to travel. And someone's like, no, me, I'm not going anywhere. I just have to remain here. You know, those things, sometimes they might limit you a lot in your personal growth or even in opportunities that might come your way. And also I would say like just being able to adopt to different changes that come your way. Because things are moving very fast, the work culture is changing. Sometimes people have to work from home. Sometimes you have to go to the office. The way things are changing, also be able to move and be flexible to move with the change that is going around.
Yeah, I think just to also add on what Sylvia, I totally agree with you, and that's something that people need to really observe. You know, and if you use a good example, you know, now like this, when COVID happened, there was a lot of changes. So people were forced to work from home. Now COVID has gotten better, and now people are forced to come back to the office. And we have people confused now. They're even now not changing jobs, even others are quitting because now they have been told.
Back to the office.
So that means you're not adaptable, you're not flexible, you know.
Sure.
So that's something that everyone needs to just have in mind.
Exactly. Wow. Very important, by the way, soft skills. I like the part that people they are now reluctant to go back and work.
In fact, there was something on LinkedIn that made me laugh. It was going around and people were saying, now our competitor said that people should go and work from the office. Now we've lost 15 people. Their competitor has gotten 15 people from them. Meaning these are people who don't want to go to the office, so they prefer to join their competitor because they don't want to go back.
Well, amazing. So, soft skills as we are discussing. For me, what I'll advise even people generally is on the issue to do with creativity. You know, employers out here are looking for a team that they will come and add value, a team that will assist them or even help them to upscale on what it is already existing. So as a person who is looking to go into employment or even be an employer, I think it is very important to just create that creativity aspect of it and innovation, because we are looking at an aspect of we are identifying the gap. What is the gap that you are coming to fill? Because we are not inventing the wheel, we are not reinventing the wheel, but what are you doing to bring up that creativity or value, to add that value, be it in your workspace or even you are going to look for employment, as you mentioned, Vivian, that there was that queue of a lot of people going to interview for 2 positions. I'm sure even in that queue, like more or less they have same qualification, maybe in terms of academic qualification and all that, or even the years of experience. But what will that thing make you stand out from the rest? Innovation and creativity is one of the key area on problem solving. Again, problem solving is also another soft skill. And I guess most employers also want to hear how unique, how different are you coming to add value or even to upscale on what it's already existing. And the moment you can answer that question or you can solve that question, then that it will be a plus for you, whether you are in employment or you are an employer.
Okay, so for me, soft skills. Which skill? I think for me, what stands out is emotional intelligence.
I know we
don't have stories about
we have a story, that's why we have reacted that way.
I think that's a heavy one, and this is something that this is a skill that everyone should just have, even if it's a little bit, you know? Because and when we talk about emotional intelligence, this is just how you're able to plan, manage your emotions, or deal with emotions when you're interacting with other people. For me, yes, you're saying, like, again, we'll go back to that interview question, and someone will say, how will emotional intelligence help me during an interview, you know? But it is very critical. Because even during an interview, let's assume now you've managed, you've been shortlisted, now you're coming to the interview, you know, emotional intelligence can still be picked at that level. You know, I've interviewed very good people, then at the end of the interview, for example, you ask them, any question that you have for us? The kind of questions that people ask just shows you there's still some gap here. And I like using example. There's a time where I was someone interviewing just for a HR assistant role. And after the interview, I had very good candidates, and these last ones were two. They followed each other during the interview. So one of them, of course, after the interview, so what are some of your weaknesses? And she explained very well. And she said, oh, I'm even reading this book to just ensure that I grow. You could see her emotional intelligence and what she's doing.
Yeah.
Another one, okay, so any question for us? She's like, how am I dressed? How do I look?
No, for real.
Oh, no. And I'm like,
no,
oh my God, not here, not here. It's the truth. And I'm like,
no.
Imagine. So you can see it's a small thing. It's a very small thing. But how do you carry your emotions with you? How do you so
that's not the kind of question to ask.
But you could see when now they were asking.
That's emotional.
But again, there's some people who get comfortable.
Yeah. So again, that's part of emotion. Don't get comfortable with people.
Yeah.
No boundaries.
No boundaries.
It's about self-awareness. Know yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that I think will make you stand out when you talk about emotional intelligence and when you're working with people. And you say this is not just at work only, yeah? Of course, even in your other friendships and relationships. I think another thing that stands out for me is empathy. When you work with people, learn to have some empathy. Don't treat people, because that shows how you, for instance, if you're a manager and you have people reporting to you, just have some empathy and guide people accordingly, talk to them in a nice way, in an understanding way, and that will help you grow. Because if you're in an organization, then that shows, you value people, that shows that you treat people well, and for sure, you will be able to grow.
Wow, very important. And I agree with you, Vivian, on that aspect of empathy and emotional intelligence. It's really very important that people know what to say to people and even how to respond to conversations, because that is where people need to draw the line and just know whether you are within the context of emotional intelligence, because some people do not know how to draw that line. You can just say something, and Cyril mentioned something on our previous video that sometimes word can't go back. Can't go back. Yeah, and the damage has already happened. So very important.
Yeah, so I think we're almost coming to the end, and the other soft skill I would want to highlight is that problem solving. I mean, I think every employer wants someone who's coming in to solve a problem. So I think we also discussed this in one of our videos last year, I guess, on how to prepare for an interview. I think it was how to prepare for an interview or something. And we highlighted that, when you go into an organization, someone wants to know
how are you coming?
What we have this and these challenges. For example, if you're coming in, you're joining their marketing team, or you're joining probably part of their HR, there must be something probably they've been struggling with. Identify that issue, and as you come in, be part of the solution, okay? And you can't afford to be the person who is always going to your boss. Now, what are we supposed to do this? What? It's better you come and say, I think I have noticed this and this is happening. How about we do it this way? But I'm thinking, can we start doing this thing in this particular way? So you must be someone who is coming to offer a solution.
Exactly.
People get tired of people who are just coming with problems. You're adding and you're not solving anything, and here comes, here goes, and things are still the same. So be a problem solver.
And lastly, Sharon, you say something.
I just wanted to build up on what Hilda has mentioned on problem solving. And she has mentioned something on employment, but this is also very important, even for those people who don't want to go into employment. Like the best way to even come up with a viable idea that is going to pick up very fast, whether in employment or outside. Maybe you just want to be an entrepreneur or start your own social enterprise. Just find out something that you are looking forward to solve a social problem or an economic problem. Just solve that gap, and
you'll be good to go.
Penetrate the market.
Actually, they say most businesses that grow have a problem they're trying to solve. So if you start from there, then for sure you will be able to grow. So as we wind up, I think just the last thing maybe we can talk about is communication. Communication is a very, very important skill that all of us need to have. And this is a skill of, again, like I know one of the major questions people keep asking, so how can I develop my soft skills? You know? So one of the things you can do to develop like your communication skills is, attend trainings. This one you can do, online. There are lots of online trainings about communication. There are lots of material online about how you can communicate. We grow from one level to another. Even ourselves, you cannot say you've mastered the art of communication, but it's a very critical step, because even when you're meeting someone and you want, let's say you're even an entrepreneur, you don't want to go into employment, how are you going to present your ideas? How are you going to sell yourself? So from attending interviews to pitching for yourself to looking for opportunities, you have to know how to communicate so that you're able to achieve what you want. So I think that's another thing that we just need to develop. And
also add to just be open-minded, to expose yourself to different people, like especially if you notice that someone knows something better, something you don't know or you lack, just be open-minded, expose it, because exposure, it's an education that can never leave you, because this is something you're experiencing, it's not like something you're reading or someone is telling you something. Also just your network, the people you hang around, make sure you have to hang around people of quality mind. Don't go around hanging just with anyone that, because even the Bible says iron sharpeneth iron, so
I think
in scripture.
Scripture. So soft skills can be learned. It might take you time. You must invest in it.
And be intentional as well.
Be intentional as well. It might be as simple as you're working with a boss who is just organized, they're soft spoken, you just like how they carry themselves. Start learning from there. And you will keep growing and get better.
Step by step.
It's a day at a time. So please improve on your skills and you'll get better.
And also something that Mike had just brought about, don't be this kind of a person and say, me, I'm a teacher, I have to teach. If there's no one for me to teach, I have nothing else to do. Something like that. Because sometimes people are stuck in things that, sometimes they're not bad, but sometimes you find that they are past with time, but you're still stuck in that era. So
let's watch out. Watch out. Be intentional. I think for me, what annoys me is, especially when I hear people, there's sometimes people talk, some careless talk, and you're like, let's just be a bit reasonable.
Sometime we were with Sylvia somewhere, very important.
Oh my God, that seems to be a very interesting one.
Goodness. And then there were some young people behind us. I think they were college students. Oh my goodness, let me tell you the kind of talk they were. They were like, I have exams, and the other one said, why do you stress yourself? You can give someone money and they will do for you that exam. The other one was like, you don't worry, we will go and drink the. Let me tell you the kind of conversation. Some people are even peeping just to see who are these.
So who can hire such people? Who can even think about you?
Who can even start thinking about
yourself?
Especially young people. Please, let's present ourselves in a dignified way. That was just let me tell you, everyone was like, who are these?
I know.
Change your mindset.
Conversation.
Embarrassing.
So as we wind up, I believe you've learned one or two things. And all of us, we still work in progress. There's so many, these are not just like all it takes to have those skills. There's so much more that we need to learn. There's so much more that we need to improve. But the best thing is just always make sure that you're progressing in life, not to be stuck. So we've come to the end of this discussion. As always, we would ask, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and even put on your notification bell in case we upload any new video. You'll be able to know. And then also we are on social media, on Facebook and Instagram at Unilove Sisters.
For now, it is a wrap and it is a
bye.